Hey, so I am today, I keep saying I'm coming on, you see that I'm here. Today I did a video that I've been working on for months and months. It's not like that, it's a lot of footage, but it just happened over time. And it started off with when I started making a t-shirt quilt. And with t-shirt quilts or memory quilts, you take the verbiage or the decal or whatever the fun stuff is on the front of the shirt, and you cut around it, and then you have all this other t-shirt left. And what I wanted to do is use the rest of the panels of t-shirt that I had left. And I had some small ones, and then when I realized what I wanted to make, which I'm gonna call a t-shirt towel, I tried my best to leave those panels as intact as possible. Now this particular one does not include any of the like arm portions. A bulk of it is like the portion that goes around your waist, and then also the back, because that's also, you know, usually pretty clear. And what I did is I cut those up and I made this t-shirt towel. Why would I want a t-shirt towel? Well, I do explain a little bit more in the video, but I'm going to tell you now just in case you decide to peace out. But here it is, and I'll show you. I tell you the rough dimensions inside of the video because I did not write it down. I just recorded it because to me it really doesn't matter the size. This is what I plan to test and use on my hair. For anybody that has natural hair, you may use t-shirt already to dry your hair. And it's just helpful if you have curly hair, because if you've ever used terry cloth or something a little rougher, you know that your curls will get caught in there, which means it's snagging them out. And we, again, my daughter and I already use t-shirts. So we have a basket of them that we both share, and that's what we use for our hair. And I thought, wow, it'd be great to no longer have those decals in the way. Also not having to do it with the armholes and the neck hole and all of that. And so here is the first rendition of the t-shirt towel. It is, of course, a wonderful and easy project because it is an upcycle if you're getting rid of t-shirts. Some people use them for rags. If I can use them like this for our hair, it'd be great. I also do a little head wrap in there, so I may play with that too. Everything else I pretty much explain in the video. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, as always, leave them in the comment section. If you have not done so already, do not forget to thumbs up this video and subscribe to my channel, because your girl has a goal to reach 10,000 subscribers on this channel. So in the meantime, get on into the rest of this video. It will be some just straight footage because, again, I've been working on this over time. I would say probably a year. I cut the panels originally and just had them all together in a container, and then today, once I started cleaning up my workspace, I felt like I had enough to make a sizable towel, and I do. And I'm looking forward to giving this a try. So I will see you inside of the video. Thank you as always for watching. Let's get to the footage. I really wanted to say, roll that beautiful bean footage. It's not about beans. If you remember that commercial, tell me in the comment section. I'll see you guys later. First up, you will see me doing what I would call processing the t-shirts. you will see all types of shirts, some that we played around with as workout shirts, some that came from the t-shirt quilt, and then others that were already just in our t-shirt basket, and you'll just see me work through them. One of the reasons why I wanted to add this recording with it is because I think the hardest part is figuring out what size should you cut them. And really, at first I tried to do them some sort of standard size, which is at least having, once I got, like for example, the first few kind of sized up into rectangles or squares depending on the size. Then I tried to match up at least one side with the next t-shirt that I cut. And after that, I kind of let that go, and I just went with it, just cleaning up the edges for the most part, cleaning off the excess, all the awkward sizing, and just cleaning them up. So you're going to see that for a while, just so you can see how I handle different types of shirts. And as always, if you have questions, let me know later, and I will hop in and out of this footage to just give you a few tips here and there. The last video was of me just going through everything and creating a pile of pieces of fabric essentially, and now I'm starting to just measure them and figure out how I want to handle it from here. In the next clip, you will see what I do next. So I cleaned up all the edges. Essentially, most of it was all rectangles, and now you'll see how I'm going to put them all together to create my towel. I'm gonna show you something real quick, and just you're gonna hear the TV and stuff in the background, but these are all some of the extra pieces from the t-shirts when I did the t-shirt quilt that I went through and I cut them up. And now what I'm gonna do is sew them together randomly to make some hair towels. So what I'm gonna do is actually assemble them much like I would assemble a crumb quilt, and all I'm doing is laying them out, trying to see which ones have similar sizes, so hopefully I don't have to cut off too much. And yeah, so what I'll do is sew these, like, yeah, that will go good together. What I'll do is sew them together and make bigger units. I think what I'm gonna do is once I sew them all together, I'll sew it and then wash them, and they'll turn into, and so that I can test using this. So what I'll do is just pin it loosely so that I know where. I think what I'm going to do is do it with the French seam so that it'll actually hide the edges. And then when I sew them, I'm not going to sew them with 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to sew them with 1/2 inch. It doesn't have to be perfect, because I'm gonna sew them with 1/2 inch. But here's one pairing. Let's see. Yep. So yeah, this is what you're gonna see me do just real quick. And this will be another project that I can get off of my table, and then it can go in with my hair stuff. One of the things when I did these, I did try to keep them at pretty similar sizes so that I wouldn't lose a whole bunch in the process. Another thing is when I do them, I'm trying my best not to stretch them too much, mainly because I don't want the seams or the pieces to buckle, and I'm not sewing them with a zigzag stitch. I plan to sew them with a straight stitch, mainly because I just want it to actually not be too stretchy. This could have a negative effect, but I don't know. I've never, I don't know much about this type of material, but honestly, it's just a way of upcycling since I use them for my hair anyway. And this would, to me, seems like it'll be a safer use on my hairs. And I'll save these, I have these larger pieces. I'll save the larger pieces for after I sew up the smaller ones, because those should pair. See, this is a huge one. I left this was the whole side of a t-shirt. So I'll save these. So because of my lack of knowledge of seams and all of that, I am now, I was thinking about doing, I like sometimes where you could do the, what they call French seams, and then sew here and then you hide the threads, but that won't be possible because this will need to lay flat. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go ahead and sew all the pieces together, and then what I'm going to do is go through with a another thread and like zigzag across the seams, almost like a decorative stitch, to make this kind of look almost patchworky. So what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and work on these. I only have a little bit of battery left, and I will come back. So here's the piece that I did. I'm showing you before I lose everything or the juice. Here's another that I did. This, let's see, checking sizing so that hopefully I can limit the amount of cutting and reassembling. What I may do actually is put it like this and then cut that little piece off there. You can't, you know, you can see it a little bit. And then this will go almost perfectly across the bottom. Let's do it this way. You can't see this, but what I'm gonna do is sew here, cut off the excess here, then take this piece and sew it across. It'll go from this end almost perfectly to the other end, and those leftover pieces, also those together, and attach them. Probably sew one of them at the end of here to make it long enough to finish it off. And then I have these long pieces of white that I will probably run along each edge and take it from there. So what I've done is I've sewed the two pieces together, and what I do now is I clean up this edge. So here's the end of one piece, and I'm going to cut this off, and that'll give me a clean edge here, and then I'll take this piece and add it on to another piece. I just want to show you this real quick. This is kind of how I do when I'm winging it. A lot of times you can bring things together as long as you have straight edges, especially when the pieces are mixed matched in size. So I try my best to get the largest pieces that I can, so and have them as close as the same size as possible, so that when I clean up the edge, that I can potentially reuse the piece, or I only lose such a little bit that I can go ahead and put it in the pile for stuffing. So this is going to be big enough for me to add on to the end of this piece. So I'll come back once I do this. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm making sure that I sew with the seams open because of what I think I want to do at the end. So here I just lay it open and pin it, and then make sure I have one here, and I have another one. I think that's the only, oh, I have another one here. So I have both of those pinned open, and then I may come back through here and clean this up. So I've sewed this was the extra little piece. I sewed it on here with the piece I already had. And now what I do is I go through and I will cut this little edge off. Here's my seam. And you'll find that once you start doing this, a lot of times if you lay and kind of smooth it, not tug on the fabric, it'll lay straight for the fabric. And some, you know, the fibers just kissing, you know, like holding on to each other. So anyways, I go through, I'm going to just kind of clean up this edge. And look, it's almost, I mean, exactly perfect. So I'll clean these up so that once I move on, so then I'll figure out where these last two pieces will fit. So I am all done. There we go, it's a little bit better. I'm all done with my t-shirt towel. That's what I'm just gonna call it, a t-shirt towel, because that's what it's for. And here it is. I'm gonna just have to like do my own panoramic. So here it is. It's really big. I was going to go over each of the seams with the zigzag stitch so that I could lay the seams on the inside flat, but there are a lot of seams, so I'm not about to do that. What I am going to do is toss it in the dirty clothes, wash it, and use it for a while and see how I like it, because we have, actually let me measure it real quick. 25, 50, 50, 60, about 62 inches, 60 to 62 inches, roughly by about 36 inches, 36 by 62, roughly. What's very interesting is I'm shaking it to make sure there's no like little bits. That's why I'm gonna wash it and see if I can actually, my hair is still literally, well, the front portion of it is not retied yet. My daughter was like, "Oh, Mom, that would make a cute head wrap." I was like, "Oh, maybe." It's hard to tell because of all these colors, like what's what. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this. We keep a basket full of t-shirts that we use for our hair, and my daughter and I, and so we had plenty that we could cut up. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this, I would put way more volume if I actually had a real mirror and not just trying to look in the front of this. Yeah, it's not cute, but it's kind of cute. We have a whole basket of t-shirts that we use only for hair. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because those are still intact, which means you have to struggle around logos and designs and all of that. So with that said, I'm going to test this one and see how I like it. And if it all goes well, then all of them will turn into this. Again, these are t-shirts that were left over from a t-shirt quilt. So therefore, that will be another great use. Why do we use t-shirts to dry our hair? It causes a less snagging than your normal like terry cloth towel. If you use it and you have curly hair, then you've seen your hairs get caught in the fibers of the towel. I'm sorry, I should have turned on a light. The sun is going away because of the storm, the rain. So yeah, so that's what I'll do. I'm pleased. I've been wanting to get it. I had these stacked on my table, so now it's no longer on my table. And everything that I had of all those t-shirts, this is all that I have left. And this. Now, this could actually be used to make mask, but I'm not going to do that because I have plenty of elastic. So I'm going to just take these pieces and put them in my little bin for filler. So that is it for this video. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, put them in the comment section. If you would like for me to do something a little more detailed other than a general update, which I will do probably with my hair update in a couple of months, but yeah, that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll talk with you all hopefully sooner than later. Take care. Goodbye.
From my pain, I never thought I'd be so empty, so alone and afraid. Wasn't looking for a lover. Nobody understood where I've been. I guess I thought I needed more time to protect my love from potential